Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies, Part 5, by Zeb Fenton, copyright 2008. This presentation conforms to the teachings of Jesus Christ. In this, the fifth podcast of the series, I will continue my talk about terms, references, and relationships with periods of time, spiritual objects, and spiritual entities. This time, we will continue to look into how the Bible describes the second day, the sun period. The first slide is a review showing some of the Father's creation, the entities, the realms, and the regions of this solar system. Above the purple line are the creative entities involved in man's development, and below the brown line are the entities evolving through matter. Now let's talk about a day, the sun period day. As you know, there are 24-hour days and sidereal days of 25,000 of our years or so. But in the Bible, Genesis 1:5, we are talking about God and one of God's days. One of the worst mistakes a person can do is try and steal one of God's days and replace it with a human 24-hour day. People do it all the time. Some people state that the world started 6,000 years ago because the Bible said so. The Bible did not. It was a person who stole a day from God and tried to replace it with a 24-hour day. As a thief, that person did not even have the decency to replace the day with a nice long sidereal day. So how long is God's day? To God, they are a short time, but to us humans, they are billions of years in length. Think of how long the solar system was a spot of dark warmness, maybe hundreds of millions of years. But God's records and geologic time place the time as a very, very long time ago, not 6,000 human years. So God's days are very, very long periods of time and can be thought of as lasting many hundreds of millions of years to billions of years. Now on to one of God's days and the continuation with information on a great day of manifestation, the sun period. In the sun period, the solar system changed from warmth to light and dark. The element air was added to the element fire. The archangels are cyclic movers, moving in and out from the center to the edge and back again, very similar to breathing motion. The densest parts of the sun globe contracted inward, but the archangels continued going outward the same distance as the old Saturn globe. The archangels did not like even stopping there because they did not want to be constricted in any sense. The lords of flame pushed from the outside toward the center, resulting in a movement of air and beings from the center to the outside, then back again to the center. The archangel's physical body was made of desire stuff, so they had this desire for physical movement with all the pleasures and pains attached. Humanity began developing a vital body, which was a thought form as created by the lords of mind. The archangels were in a human state, so they had a dense body made of desire stuff. But think of the body as also being a human-like body at the same time. The human body made of desire stuff consisted of a plant-like life form of fiery air sacs used by the archangels. Humanity is becoming alive, plant-like, no longer rock-like. Life means plant-like movement. Because we live in a material physical world, we think everything happens here. But in the Saturn and Sun periods, not much activity is happening in this solar system's physical world. Think of tiny threads of God filtering down into denser layers, but the activities may not have been visible to human vision. The beings like man do not have physical bodies yet. The element water is not yet present. This is still the second day. During the very beginnings of the Sun period, the lords of flame worked upon the germinal dense body of man, incorporating the ability to sense. The germinal dense body was now developing sense organs, nothing like a tongue for taste or a nose for smell, but the ability to sense the difference between light or dark and warm or cold. The cherubim aroused the life spirit in man. Man's ego now has the divine spirit and the beginnings of the life spirit. In the Saturn period, the following developmental hierarchies existed. Virgin spirits, humanity, equals rocks and mineral-like. Angels equal plant-like. Archangels equal animal-like. Lords of mind equal human-like. Lords of form, powers, equal angel-like. Lords of individuality, mights, equal archangel-like. Lords of wisdom, dominions, equal lords of mind-like. And lords of flame, the thrones, equal lords of form-like. Now, in the sun period, the hierarchy is changed. Virgin spirits, humanity, equal plant-like. Angels equal animal-like. Archangels equal human-like. Lords of mind equal angel-like. Lords of form, powers, equal archangel-like. Lords of individuality, mights, equal lords of mind-like. Lords of wisdom, dominions, equal lords of form-like. And the lords of flame, thrones, equal lords of individuality-like. Everybody has moved up one rank. Moving up one rank between periods is the normal progression. Lucifers are lords of mind who did not progress normally by the will of the Father. Because of the above rankings, one has to look at the actions of these beings over periods. However, this hierarchy of beings has a problem, because the lords of flame aroused the divine spirit in man in the Saturn period, the yellow arrow, and in the sun period, the cherubim aroused the light spirit in man, the green arrow, and in the moon period, the seraphim aroused the human spirit in man, the blue arrow. The problem is that much higher level beings are arousing the much lower aspects of man, which is just the opposite of what you would expect. The hierarchy problem is in the magnitudes of difference between the beings and their abilities. Why are the seraphim, who are in the worlds of virgin spirits, doing developmental work of the lower beings? Is something special going to occur? Will something different in the developmental worlds and actions be required? Find out next time on Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies, Part 6. This concludes Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies, Part 5.